Welcome, and thank you for listening to Hammer of the Gods. I'm Kay, and this week I'm the Dungeon Master as we continue and conclude the Trouble at the Theater adventure, where we follow an aspiring director and his friends on their journey to release the curse of Aristophanes' play The Birds. This one was super fun to run, and I hope you enjoy it.
When we were in the cave, just dealing with the cave and then thinking about flying creatures, because I know bats ain't, birds and bats aren't the same thing, but for some reason, I was thinking about Ace Ventura when nature calls. The whole die devil bird.
I murdered a bird, and now we have a kidnapped bird that we're gonna go feed lettuce from Glycarions. So yeah, like these birds that have been harassing my play, Anthmedeus's play, the Lost Birds by Aristophanes, decided to harass on opening night when all of my pals from childhood plus some hairy big guy were in the audience. And yeah, so then is when I murdered that bird, plus like Nemesis and the goose thing, but not important.
I'm Nicholas Andino, and I am a Minotaur. Last time I shot up in the air trying to kill birds and did not accomplish nothing. Yeah, I put a hole in the ozone layer, maybe.
Perfect.
Nicholas caused global warming.
Everybody thought it was the spray cans from the 90s. Nope, it was me.
It bled into other worlds. It was so impactful.
That's right.
That checks out.
I'm playing Dara. She's a Asimar barbarian. She's wild magic barbarian, so she's still getting a handle on this magic thing. Tends to strike out at her and everyone.
I'm Stavros Flatley, and I am a Twilight Cleric Furbolg, and I've been using my fantastic translator friend Callista to talk to this captive bird that we have. Gotta get him some lettuce.
Hi, I'm Callista. I'm a bear totem barbarian, half elf. Apparently I can talk to animals if I can touch them, and I'm kind of an asshole.
I'm Anthmedeus. I'm the reason we're all here. I am a College of Eloquence bard, obviously, and I am a satyr who is an entertainer, naturally, as one does. These are my pals, and then that guy.
So you got this bird on a leash, and you've promised it lettuce.
Anthmedeus definitely would try to take the lasso and just drag it while it's still in the bag, so it can't walk. It's just pulling along behind him.
Hey! I told you I would take you to the island if you give me lettuce. You said that there was a place close. You don't have to drag me. I said I would go.
Stavros would never drag this bird. That's terrible. It has a leash.
Okay, but is it more terrible than what they did to my beautiful play?
This is a living animal and they turned your friend to stone.
That's pretty terrible. That was also a living being.
I mean, he's not feeling anything right now. We'll get him back. It'll be fine. But it doesn't mean we gotta treat this guy bad. He's gonna help us.
Wasn't this one of the cockatrices?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely not letting it out of that bag. Not a chance. So yeah, Anthmedeus is leading the way to Glycarions, reluctantly.
You traverse back through the city till you get there, and the bird is squawking the whole time about, where's the lettuce? Are you gonna be there? I can't smell it. What's that other smell? And it's probably somebody farted on the street and it had no idea what that smell was.
I'm watching the bird. I don't trust it. I have no input in whether it's dragged or carried, but I don't trust it. I'm just keeping an eye out.
If it would prevent it being dragged, I will carry it.
Hold it like a baby in a bag?
Yeah, it's in the bag and with collared. Yeah, I'll hold it.
It's going to peck you and then you'll be petrified.
That is a chance I am willing to take.
Callista will be following everyone else, nonchalantly thinking about how long this trip is taking to get there. Because they clearly had the bird handled right now.
No rolls are needed or anything to get there. You've got two people who are very familiar with Acadius for sure in your party. What was Nicholas doing?
I'm staying with the group, but been there, done that. I'm staying away from the freaking bird.
So Asmodeus is just like, yeah, you seem like you would be better off stone.
Okay, so you make it to Glycerion's without any hassle, and the bird just lets Stavros sing to him the whole way there. The guy at Glycerion's is like, you can't bring that bird in here.
Listen, I made a deal with this bird. I just need some lettuce.
You can buy lettuce, but get the bird out.
I don't want anything to do with the bird, but it's a little shit who I have to negotiate with, so I would like your worst lettuce, please.
Just lettuce?
No, I would like a euro and a side salad for the bird.
You're gonna feed it meat?
I'm eating the euro. Just like shuffle a gold coin out of my bag because I want this whole thing to hurry up.
So yeah, he gives you the dopest looking euro you've ever seen, Stavros.
So I take this package of food and try to shift the bird to my one arm, and then I'm probably, as we're walking, gonna be feeding bits of the lettuce to the bird.
You're gonna feed it directly where it might easily hurt you and turn you into stone.
That's a good point. How about I keep the lettuce in the bag and I let it eat out of the bag?
I like the visual of like the bird being in a bag and you just dumping lettuce on its head. But you can't get too close to its beak, so you can't be too nice.
I'll kind of sprinkle the lettuce in every so many yards.
So you're leaving like tiny little pieces of lettuce that miss the bag your whole way, like Hansel and Gretel?
Probably. Heck, not on purpose. I'm trying to save as much of the lettuce as I can.
We have to make sure we can find our way home again.
So many pigeons are just following us now.
We have an army of birds.
Let's see how many birds have accrued. Just one.
Free food, free concert as I'm singing.
One is one too many.
You gotta get to the water. And then I can take you to the island. I love lettuce. Oh, I love lettuce.
How do we get to the island?
You go to the water.
Just any water.
I'm not swimming there.
We need a boat? We cannot fly.
Oh, you do not fly. Huh. It's like it's never occurred to him that you cannot fly.
Head empty. Only lettuce.
I don't know. I fly. How do you go?
How far away is it?
It is 500 wing flaps.
Yes, I'm absolutely not swimming that far.
Oh, do we see any boats as we come up to the water?
You all, except for Asmodeus, have come from before you went to the play. You came from the northwestern port. You know Acadius is a port city. So there's that port, there's another port.
Imagine we would probably go back to the port we came from.
Makes sense to me.
Like that's the port we're familiar with, so.
It does seem to be the general direction he has been directing you. As he's munching on lettuce.
Munch.
I assume we don't need like a terribly huge boat, do we?
Speak for yourself, I need a yacht.
Have you seen the size of that hairy thing?
It's only 500 wing flaps. It can't be that far.
Have you seen the size of that hairy thing over there?
Are you talking about me?
Obviously, I mean the giant horned person behind you.
Oh, Nicholas? He has hair? I guess I've never really looked.
Probably a normal sized boat would be good.
Would I know any of the boats people?
Yeah.
Is my old pal Uvu Jabber around?
Yeah, he's there, and you clearly see him.
I imagine that every time he looks a lot different. I mean, his overall body and stuff is basically the same face. But one time I think he had a peg leg, but he doesn't always have a peg leg because he doesn't actually have, he's not missing a leg. He just likes to make himself look different.
He's just a turtle who just puts his leg away and wants a different one today.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need some leg variety.
it confuses people and it keeps them always on their toes.
Or their pegs.
Yeah, exactly. So I think today he's got his peg on the opposite side of the last time that Anthmedeus saw him, which kind of throws him off a little bit. And so Anthmedeus would just be like, "Oh, hello, Uvu," and he's just like, "Oh, you again? What's your name?"
We need to get to the island.
Yeah. So Uvu, this little bird bastard is our guide, and says that there's an island.
I resent that.
Good. I hope you do. I say back in cockatrice. Like, just flawlessly, Anthmedeus goes back and forth from, like, clucking, chirping noises to just common. As if it's nothing. He's just very fluent in all languages, basically. And he says, yes, so apparently there is some Goose Island. Are you familiar? So Uvu's just like, I am not familiar, but if you have directions.
You just keep going to the northwest for 400 wing flaps, and then you go to the east for 30 wing flaps, and then you go south for 10 wing flaps, and then you go back northwest for the rest of the 500.
Okay, so I just explained this to Uvu, and I'm just like, yeah, you get out there, and then you spin in a circle, and then you do it again, because apparently birds are stupid.
Uvu takes this path, and it's kind of weird because the island, you don't see it until you've completely turned around. Like, it doesn't appear until then. And then you see this island, which has a volcano on it, which covers most of the entirety of the land. But the bird directs you to the shore right next to a cave-like area in the side of it.
This doesn't seem suspicious at all.
I don't know.
I'm just observing everything around me.
Here's Lady Nemesis' island. Don't tell her I brought you here.
Well, I could just put you out of your misery.
Please don't do that. I was so nice.
You petrified my friend. You ruined my play.
I was just following orders. It's just orders.
Birds are the worst.
I agree.
Have you always been a bird?
I don't want to talk about it.
Can I try and persuade him to talk about it?
You can try, but it will be difficult.
I just choke on a bug.
You're like, why?
Exactly like that, thank you.
Uvu Java is kicking you off of the boat like, it's time, we're here, time to get off.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, Anthmedeus immediately got off the boat. He does not like boats very much.
Dara's easily distracted and is in need of being kicked off the boat.
I was probably finishing my Euro.
It's a big Euro if it takes you 45 minutes.
It was thick.
I would definitely get off the boat and follow everyone to the shore.
Birdie and I are on our way.
I just picture Stavros like savoring every bite. Just doing that like obnoxious thing where he like takes a bite and it's just like,
1000%.
I'm going to get off the boat with everybody because I don't want to do that thing where I don't say what I'm doing and then someone assumes that I'm still on the boat as it just drifts away.
So what are we doing with this bird?
I'm scared if we let this bird go, then we're gonna all be turned to stone.
I'm not ready to let it go quite yet. He might still prove useful for a few more minutes yet.
Yes, we could use him as blackmail since clearly he's terrified of this Nemesis character.
Please don't make me go in there.
Well, we don't know where to go, so maybe you should start leading the way, and maybe I won't kill you.
I brought you to the cave.
We can hide you in the bag. No one will know it's you.
Yes, I could put a big rock over you.
Are you sure?
No.
Listen, I know about gravity.
He just says stupid things sometimes.
I know all about gravity.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
He really does not want to go into this cave because he feels that he is not welcome and he's going to get in trouble for leading you here. And you can like look back into the cave and it looks like a normal cave from here.
And I use my stealth to try to see if I can sneak in and check out the cave before everyone else goes to get murdered.
Absolutely.
Anthmedeus is also going to use stealth. It's a 23.
Dara got a 4.
21.
Asmodeus and Callista disappear into this cave, which doesn't go super far back, and Dara walks into the cave. But the cave only goes back about 20 feet before it seems to end, but you can roll for perception if you would like.
Could I do investigation instead?
Yes.
That was a 16.
So there's like a bird foot indentation, kind of like the doors in Skyrim, but instead of the whatever key, it's a bird foot, like a cockatrice foot.
I'll grab the sack. Whether the bird wants to go or not, he's in a bag, so, you know. And then I'm just gonna, like, cut a little slit in it, close to where his feet are, and then just, like, force his little foot out through that slit, and then just stick it up against the wall. Obviously holding his neck with the other hand, so he can, like, bite me.
His claws are also dangerous.
Can I just roll dexterity?
Yes.
That is a nat 20.
Ooh.
So you just get, like, just enough out, like, seamlessly. So sticking this into his foot into the wall, you hear him say, "Hey, I don't like being held upside down. Please, I would have done it willingly if you would have just asked instead of manhandling me. But I don't like this." And as that's happening, it's like a stone door begins to roll open. He like spins.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like toss him.
I don't. You're not very nice. I like the other guy better. He was nice to me. He sang and gave me lettuce.
You tried to kill us.
It is orders.
These are my orders, and I'm just gonna see what I can see inside the door.
Callista is going to run out of the cave to gather the rest of the party and bring them inside the cave.
I guess I'm going in the cave.
Dara's confused and is going to turn around and clomp out of the cave, still annoyed. Definitely not supposed to be here. Dara's just clomping. Dara doesn't know.
So Dara begins going back out the cave.
There's there's a door.
Okay.
I don't know why you're leaving the cave. There's a
Dara
door.
will kick down the door. No, I'm not kicking down the door. I'll just wait behind everybody else.
The door is open. The door, Dar. I know that you've always been like this, but my goodness.
Dara walks through the door.
I was gonna follow Callista into the cave. I'm gonna pick a bird back up.
Okay, so you pick it up as it's like just now fallen down from the rolling with the opening door. And so it's like a little dizzy and disoriented. But in this room that opens, it is not a room at all. It is a hallway that is ornately decorated with wood and marble, with bronze images of geese bells and a single gold key depicted along the walls. And this is lit with like candles, like sconces. At the end of the hallway, there are two doors, both with gold geese on them.
Are they identical doors?
They look the same.
So before I go like down this hallway, I'm just like, bird, which door?
You have to go left to go right.
Okay, so Anthony is gonna go and investigate the left door, make sure that it's not trapped or anything.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
There's an 11.
It doesn't look trapped. It looks like a door with a gold goose in it.
Cool. I'm just gonna
Possibly less locked than the other door.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it.
Okay, does everyone else follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will follow.
Okay, perfect. So you enter this room after opening this door, and it takes a second for your eyes to adjust as the light in this room seems exceptionally bright. But as your eyes are adjusting, you hear a voice say, "Let's meet our newest participants of Oikos Day, Alistair!" And you hear cheers from a handful of people who seem to be standing behind a solid marble table with bells placed evenly across it, and Atos etched into it on the right side of the room.
Well, this seems terrible.
Your eyes have adjusted, and standing behind the table is what appears to be a group of people, all donning the same bushy eyebrows, tiny button noses, And aside from the female in their group, they all have impressively broad shoulders. And it's very, very easy to deduce that they are related. And looking around, you see an identical marble table with no etchings in it, sitting on the left side of the room. In the middle of the room, you can see the source of the voice you heard when you entered. And if anyone would like to make a religion check, you can figure out who this is exactly.
That is a dirty 20.
16 for Stavros.
13 for Dara.
19 for Callista.
4 for Nick.
Everyone except for Nicholas is gonna realize that this is Alistair, the personification of familial feuds. So Alistair continues speaking as you're realizing who he is. And he gestures to the empty table on the left. Please take your places behind the table over there. What name should I have etched into your side?
Amadeus, clearly. And yeah, I will absolutely roll a performance check if you want me to, but I'm just gonna like suddenly become super peppy, like, you know, Families on Family Feud, and like indicate to the others very subtly that they should do the same thing, that they should like act really excited.
Amadeus, that's your last name. That's your family name.
That's my only name, and that's their name too.
And he's looking at the to make sure everyone agrees.
Yep. Dara will not be looking interested at all because of her 0 charisma.
Stavros rolls his eyes, but doesn't really expect anything different and doesn't say anything.
Yay!
I'm gonna give Nicholas bardic inspiration for his performance, just to make sure that he doesn't fuck it up.
You know that's gonna happen, right?
I get in my position at the table and I just kind of look confused.
So when I say like he's gonna you know do the like Family Feud thing, he is doing his mirthful leaps that satyrs can do. Like he's just leaping like 10 feet up in the air, doing little backflips and stuff, and just like waving his hands and super excited and doing little spirit fingers.
All right. Amadeus it is, and you see a strikingly good-looking spectral man emerge from behind Alistair. You can clearly see that he has a chiseled jaw and marbled muscles that could be seen through his chitin. Gigacus Chadius then expertly chisels the name of the party into the marble slab, and then walks back to the wall behind Alistair that appears to have wooden slats in it.
Would I be allowed to make a performance check just to try and like psych out the other team?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. That is a 24 total.
Jesus.
You definitely have more enthusiasm than they do. So you're just like extremely excited, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, like I am fully doing basically like a routine from Bring It On. Like I'm doing the backflips and, you know, handsprings, all that kind of stuff. Like just the most excited cheerleader type.
So I think unless you want to do it different, I think we'll roll like initiative to see what order you guys will go for questions.
That's perfect.
Sounds good to me.
The 17.
15 for Dara.
Well, I have 2.
Stavros rolled a 1 and has a 1 modifier.
I got 14.
So Stavros and Callista, will you roll off against each other?
4.
12.
Amadeus is going to go first, and so you guys will line up in order at this marble slab with bells in front of it. And after everyone takes their places, Alistair begins speaking and says, "Welcome to Oikos Day, Alistair. Today we've got the Atos Oikos and the Amadeus Oikos competing for a chance to obtain the coveted key to see Lady Nemesis. The team with the most points at the end of round 3 will be our winner. All right, let's see which Oikos will go first. Let's bring our first contestants up to the stand." And he gestures to the first person on either side, then to the podium in the middle, right in front of him, which has a bell on both sides.
Yeah, Amadeus is just doing more like backflip handstands.
You gonna do acrobatics check? See how good they are?
Can I just do performance instead? Because like it's part of his.
No, you can't tumble. without acrobatics.
I mean, I'm still pretty good at that, but it was a 19.
So you get like 2 backhand strings off in this pretty small area.
Yeah. Can I also roll performance just to see how good it is?
Yeah, sure.
It's a 21.
It is impressive.
Yeah.
So the way this will work is you're going against the other team, and we will roll to see who is faster at hitting the bell.
Okay.
So he says, "All right, Oikos, are you ready? We have consulted 100 new Alexandrians, and we're looking for the top answer. Here we go. Traditionally, a gyro is made with lamb meat. What else might be used as a lamb substitute?"
It's a 13.
You got an 8, so you get it.
Fast as fuck, boy. Goat?
Let's see if goat's on the board. And he gestures to Gigacus Chadius. He pulls one of the slats out, and it says goat.
Excellent.
And it has 4 points next to it.
Nice.
So then the other team will get to see if they can choose a higher ranking option, but he says radishes. And so you guys get to go first. Aunt Medeos can go back to your table, and the other team member will do the same on their side.
Cool. And he just like does the peppiest like knees to chest kind of like high stepping run back.
Perfect. Dara, you will be next. So Alistair will walk up to you and say, Are you ready for this next question? Are you sure?
Super ready.
So we've asked 100 new Alexandrians the following question. What might a chariot do that may cause an accident? We're looking for the top 5 answers here.
That might cause an accident? Lose a wheel?
Let's look for lose a wheel. So that is the number 1 answer.
Yeah, boy!
And so that is worth 10 points. It falls under mechanical failure.
Nice.
All right, Nicholas. What might a chariot do that may cause an accident?
Break loose from the horses?
Let's see if break loose from the horses is on there. It's the second from the bottom answer, and it says horses spooked, and it's 4 points.
Good answer.
So, Stavros, what might a chariot do that may cause an accident?
How about you hit a pothole?
Well, let's see if you hit a potholes on there. He gestures to Gigacus again. The third answer is potholes / road issues, and that is worth 6 points. And there are 2 answers left on this question. Callista, what might a chariot do that may cause an accident?
Flip over?
Let's see if flip over's on there. He gives you the bottom answer, taking turns too sharp, for 2 points.
And Ansmedeus is just like, yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
Because he's just been mouthing to everyone that same answer this whole time.
And so there's 1 answer left on the board. Altmedeos, back to you. What might a chariot do that may cause an accident?
Wreck? Like hit another, like collide?
Let's look for collide. So Gigacus is going to etch 1x into your side of the board. Then we will go back to Dara. What might a chariot do that may cause an accident?
May cause an accident. Reading a scroll while driving.
That will give you 8 points.
Nice.
All right. Well, we are on to the next question. You guys are doing wonderful. You got 1 strike. If you get 3 strikes, the Atos family can steal from you and has a chance to win. Nicholas, come up to the stand, and Philip, come up to the stand. You guys will need to roll dexterity against each other to see who can answer this next. Ring the bell to answer the next question.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 6. According to 100 new Alexandrians, if he could only bring 1 item to a party, what would Zeus bring? And we're looking for the top 3 answers here.
I'm gonna go with lightning bolt, Steve.
Let's look for his lightning bolt. And it is the number 2 answer. And it is worth 10 points. Philip guesses Hera, which is not on the list. So then we will go to Stavros. Alistair walks over to you at your Oikos' table. If he could only bring one item to a party, what would Zeus bring?
That would be a lady friend that is not his wife, Alistair.
Let's look for a lady friend. The third answer on the board is a quotation marks friend. And that is worth 5 points. So Callista, Alistair's like, you guys are doing so great. We got one more question after this. You got one more answer on the board. You can beat the Atos family for the key to see Lady Nemesis.
Can I quickly give Callista Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah.
Cool. You can do it.
You feel oddly inspired, Callista. According to 100 new Alexandrians, if he could only bring one item to a party, what would Zeus bring? We've got 2 answers on the board. We're looking for the top answer.
His crown.
Let's look for his crown. Gigacus is going to etch another X. Your second X for your Oikos, as his crown is not on the board. But we will go back to Anthmedeos.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say real loud, his dick.
So Alistair looks a bit uncomfortable, but he says, let's look and see if his dick's up there. And Gigacus pulls the top slat out and says, it says himself / his genitals, and you get 20 points.
Yeah. Woo!
Good job. You guys are up to a great start. If you get another one wrong, the Atos family has a chance to steal. Let's bring the next contestant to the stand.
I would like to give Dara Bardic Inspiration. I've got one more after this, so.
Okay.
Sweet.
The other member of the Atos family is going to come up to the stand as well. And all right, for the last round, contestants, are you ready?
Yeah.
The other guy says, yeah, as well. 100 new Alexandrians answered. Tell me something that would please the gods, but not your neighbors. We are looking for the top 2 answers.
A human sacrifice.
Let's look for sacrifices on the board. And it is the number 2 spot,
Nice.
and it just says sacrifices, and it is worth 20 points.
Woo!
Good answer.
The Atos family is going to say drinking too much wine. And it is not going to be on the board, unfortunately for them. Nicholas! 100 new Alexandrians answered. Tell me something that would please the gods, but not your neighbors.
I'm gonna give Nicholas bolstering magic, so roll a d3 to add to your roll if you have to make an intelligence roll.
So that's 18 altogether.
You have an inkling of an idea that this answer would particularly please someone like Zeus, and unless your neighbors were participating, they probably would be upset if this was happening in your backyard.
John.
Okay, I thought that, but I didn't want to be a pervert. All right, orgy.
Yeah!
Gigacus, show me an orgy! And he takes the number 1 slat off of there, and it says orgy in the backyard. And you gain 30 points, and he gestures his hands and some effects go off, like, for you guys winning. And he rings all the bells, and he has Gigacus ring all the bells as well, like the extra bells. And he's like, you guys have won! Oikos Day, Alistair! Thank you for participating. Please take your prize from Gigacus and leave. The Atos family must stay since they lost.
Oh, jeez.
Ansmedeo's just like, does the mirthful leaps and like leaps over the table and goes and grabs the key. Then Anthony is just going to go to the other door and unlock it.
Perfect. So this door looks exactly like the other door. They both had a goose in them. And this key fits perfectly into it. It was a bronze key shaped like a goose.
As soon as I unlock and open the door, I'm going to flip it to Stavros to be like, I don't want this.
I got my key. That we won on the feud. It looks like a gold goose. Hey, yeah, yeah.
So Oikos Anthmadeos. This door opens up into a large cavernous room lit by a few sconces on the walls and the river of lava that runs across the far side of the room. Wooden support beams line the walls to your left, right, and behind you, then switch to marble as they get closer to the lava. In the middle of the room, there are two marbled statues of a woman that looks identical to the woman that sits in the throne on the raised platform in front of the flowing river of lava. And if anyone would like to make a religion or history check, please do so now.
21.
I rolled a 20.
I rolled a 6.
Got a 12 for Stavros.
I got a 14.
You, Nicholas, and Anthmadeus would clearly know this is Lady Nemesis depicted, and this is probably not the real her, but a depiction, like some sort of shadow that she is taking form of right now. And Nicholas, you got a 20,
Yep.
right? So, in between these statues stands one shadowy figure that appears ready for battle. You know for a fact that this is a shade of Bellerophon. You begin to hear the voice of Nemesis, and her voice booms throughout the room like a god would. So Bellerophon was the hero who slew the monster Chimera with the help of the winged horse Pegasus, but that's not what Nemesis knows him for. That's not why he is indebted to her in some way or another. She says,
This notably crowned warrior fell and is now in my service. Humble yourselves and defeat his shade. Then perhaps we can discuss why you're here. Fail, and you'll be in my service as he is.
so now we will all roll initiative against Bellerophon.
Well, Anthmadeus serves no one, but the muses. That is a 9.
Huh, that's funny. I got the same thing.
I got a dirty 20.
I got a 9 too.
No shit, so did I.
Okay, so get this, because I know we're going to have to roll off. You want to know what I rolled for the second one?
A 9.
Yep.
So Dara, you get to go first.
Okie doke.
Bellerophon has his fists out and looks like he is, well, he is a shade of Bellerophon. It's not real Bellerophon,
Okay.
just to be clear. He's like a little shadow guy. He looks awful punchy.
Okay. I'm gonna whack him with a 12.
You whack him and it doesn't do anything.
I'm gonna whack him again because I get 2. Okay. Oh my god, it's another 12. So I'm gonna do nothing except miss.
You just like punch him and it's like he has abs and he's just a little punching bag.
Dara's gonna go sulk.
Bellerophon is gonna go next. And while you're sulking, he's gonna try to punch back, but also can't affect you.
Sweet. My armor is only 13.
Either time.
Amazing.
I got a 4 and a 9.
Cool. We will just be really good at fist fighting here, guys.
The rest of you just see Dara and Bellerophon punching each other and not doing any damage at all. But Nicholas, you have a chance to intervene.
You guys ever punched a shade before? It's not easy.
Well, my guess is stabbing probably wouldn't work. Yeah, what the heck, I'll go for it. I'm going to use my longsword and try to attack him.
Give him that blop blop.
Blah, blah.
So, add my attack bonus, I rolled a 24. That's 8 damage, 4 plus 4.
You do this damage to him and it doesn't seem quite as effective as normal, but it does seem to be affecting him. Davros.
I'm going to... What's the name of this? How big is this place that we're in?
This room is probably 90 by 60 and he's in the middle.
Okay. And a couple people are right up by him.
Yeah, it's about 40 birds across, 40 cockatrices across, by 37 and a half.
Cool. So I'm gonna move up till I'm probably about 28 feet away or something in a good radius. Actually, no, I'm gonna move up till I'm almost up next to the guy, and I'm gonna use my channel divinity Twilight Sanctuary. So it creates like I show my shield, which has my holy symbol on it, and a 30-foot radius or area of dim light comes out from me, and it lasts for about a minute. So whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, I can grant creatures benefits that I choose. So I can grant 1d6 plus 7 temporary hit points, and I can end like Charmed or Frightened, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon and just have that at the ready. I get a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
10 force damage.
10 force damage. All right. So he takes a step back, with the sheer impact of your blow. He's knocked back like 5 feet, probably. Awesome. He's clearly not expecting you to have hit him with a blow like that. He's like, "Whoa."
I'll end my turn there.
Antmedeus is next.
So I'm gonna cast Shatter, but I'm gonna put it like far enough behind him that it's not gonna hit Nicholas and Dara. So yeah, he has to beat a DC 15 con save.
He fails.
Excellent.
He got a 7.
So he takes 14 thunder damage.
Nemesis, who said my ass could get thunderclapped?
Antmedeus, that's who.
Shut up, you proud peasant.
No one tells me to shut up.
She's obviously talking to Bellerophon.
Oh, and Antmedeus does exactly that. Like, as soon as he realizes that she's talking to him, he's just like, yep, shut up. How far away would I be, approximately?
You would have probably started within 35 feet from him, so where do you want to be?
Perfect, because I have 35 feet of speed. I would like to move behind him to flank him. That way, Nikolai can potentially use his sneak attack.
Yeah, and there's 2 pillars on either side of him that depict Lady Nemesis. So that would be a perfect flanking position. Can
I just, can I do like a handspring to like jump behind him with my mirthful leaps? Because like I can leap a lot being, a satyr.
Callista, so you are next.
Okay, unlike everyone else, I plan on using my javelin because I think it has some kind of range where I don't have to get right up on them. And I also have an extra attack. Okay, so my first hit was a 10, and my second hit was a 14.
So neither of those hit, but your 14 will fall just a little bit short.
I feel like on the first one, Antmedeus is like, "Whoa, Kalista, that was very close."
Lands like right next to your toe, or your hoof.
I clearly can't throw.
Dara is annoyed, so she's going to rage. So on the rage, I'm going to roll on the wild magic. There's a 2, which is what I get every time, so it teleports me up to 30 feet away.
Well, luckily this room is 90 by 60, so this will teleport you next to Lady Nemesis, below her little podium.
Okay.
You're like by the lava river, kinda, but not in it.
But not in it. To get back, would I have to cross the lava river?
No, it's behind her. And this is probably like 30 feet back from everyone, on the opposite side of everyone.
I'm focused on the shade, so I'm gonna run back and attack the shade, because I'm annoyed. My first attack is a 21, and my second attack is a 26.
Those will both hit.
17 damage total.
You have a feeling it did more like 8.
I imagined.
It looks like you're hitting
Looks like you're hitting him. Okay. And that is the end of my turn.
All right. No, he's looking pretty rough. So that puts him next. And he's a little overwhelmed with knowing who to retaliate against because he's just getting ganged up on all of a sudden. he's more of a one-on-one fight guy.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
it's like this is Office Space, and he's the printer that we're beating the shit out of.
Dara, you're the most recent person to have attacked him, so he's going to give you the blop blop with his fists.
Except
The first one, what was your armor
13.
class? The first one will hit, but the second one, he rolled a 2.
Nice.
He's going to do 6 bludgeoning damage to you.
Pretty rude.
So he is going to use his bonus action to shadow step and teleport to the darker area by the wood pillars on the far side of the room, away from you guys. So he is on the... If the door you came in, he was in the middle, there's 2 pillars, he's on the left side of the room. And you guys are kind of in the middle. But that will bring us to Nicholas.
I guess I'm gonna do the stabby thing again. I'm gonna use my longsword on him.
I think Antmedeus. Can I roll an intelligence check to see if I would have noticed, this resistance to non-magical damage?
Yeah, and you want to roll intelligence or insight?
Either one, whichever is all right by you.
Whichever's better.
Dirty 20.
You definitely notice he's not taking full damage from that type of attack.
So I'm just gonna look over, make eye contact with Nicholas, and be like, "Do it, do the thing."
Yeah, you really want me to do the thing, don't you?
Say the words. Say the words. Hairy man.
All right. And so, I just kind of look at him and raise my right hand, and my fingertips kind of spark. Like, all right, you got it. Eldritch Blast it is. I rolled a 2.
That misses.
Horribly.
Not as bad as it could. We're really not looking for a critical fail on that in this room.
I just knocked the head off one of them statues over to the right.
So then we will go to Stavros.
I'm gonna bonus action cast Steps of Night. So it lets me fly in this little dim circle aura that I've placed. So I'm gonna fly to the edge as close as I can get to the... And did you say that he's kind of in the darkness over by the pillar?
Yeah, he's a shade in the shade.
Shade in the shade. So I'm gonna fly over, and which is probably 30 feet or so closer to him, and then I'm going to actually cast a spell called Inflict Wounds.
Oh, can I bonus action give Stavros Bardic also, because it would be my last one?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
It's 35 damage. Necrotic. Tendrils of rotting flesh move up this guy's neck and into his face and jaw, and he starts to wither, and his knees buckle as he falls to the ground.
Ansmedeus just wants to prestidigitation, some little sparks and a little music box type song. Kind of sounds similar to the Final Fantasy Victory theme, but just different enough we don't get sued.
Nemesis, in her little throne, looks at you and is like,
What would you go do that for? Now I have to find me another one.
and she looks a bit quizzical, as if you're not quite who she was expecting to be here.
It seems you've gotten mixed up in business that does not concern you.
Well, you see, it is my business when you send your little birds to ruin my play. You ruined my opening of my play and my life. Why?
Well, what play is it you speak of?
The Birds, the one and only. Aristophanes, lost play.
Oh, that proud man. He didn't deserve a text this wonderful.
But I am not him. I did not deserve to have my life ruined.
So roll persuasion.
Can I do it with advantage?
Why?
Because I'm making this as dramatic as possible and like saying that she has ruined my life and that this is the worst thing that's ever happened.
It would cancel disadvantage.
Okay, well it's still an 18.
She was kind of just looking at herself, looking at her hands, like her nails and everything, and like looks up and is like,
I do not have time for the likes of you today. Why is this text so important to you?
Because it's a lost play that was going to rejuvenate my career that was already amazing, obviously, but you know, when you're a little bit down on your luck, it's, you know, sometimes you just need that extra spark, right?
So she seems to take pity on you. And she snaps her fingers, and the text comes floating out of your bag and rewrites itself and then sets itself back into its little scroll.
I suppose, as long as you do not cause any issues with this play, you may use it. However, a man not so different from you received a far different fate. Go and take your play. Stay humble, and I'll keep an eye on you. A proud mortal cannot evade me forever.
That's me, the most humble, and you know, just take my bow and then run as fast as possible.
Leave now, all of you. Your play will not harm you anymore.
Like as everyone turns to see what Amadeus is doing, like it's that cartoon where there's just like a little, maybe a coin spinning and then just like dust.
So what would everyone else like to do?
I would like to, follow Amadeus and pick up a black bag and walk out the door.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm out of here.
I'm gonna turn and run with the rest of them.
Also, I mean, I know that the scene's over, but I either didn't hear it or you didn't say what Nemesis looks like. Can you paint us a word picture? Because I would like to know.
So she just looks like a humanly figure, but it's clearly just an apparition of her.
Right.
A spectral figure of her. Nemesis is the goddess of retribution. She looks like she is donned in all black leather with a red shirt under the first one, and she has fiery red hair and white eyeballs and a tiny little button nose and supple lips, and she's holding a long sword. So she lets you leave. You have an uncursed play. Someone can, I don't know, how are you gonna call Uvu Java?
Oh, I figured that I probably just told him, like, wait here. Don't go anywhere.
Perfect. And so you guys easily find your way back to Acadius, the port you came from. And Stavros has stowed away this bird in a bag.
I definitely would like to give it an option. It's like, would you like to work for me? Or I will, if you don't accept that request, I will let you go as long as you promise not to harm anyone in the city again.
Can you get me lettuce every day?
I think that most days, I may not have access all the time, but I can do it very regularly. It is hard to come by, after all, if I'm not in town.
He would love to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I feel like I just pay for everyone to stay a couple of extra days, because I mean, obviously we're going to need at least a day or two to rehearse and whatnot, and the rest of the day for the petrified people to unpetrify. And I feel like Amadeus definitely just stands there staring at, I can't even remember the guy's name, but the one who was petrified last time. Like he just stares at him until he turns back to flesh. And then like as soon as he's back to flesh, he just kicks him in the shin and is like, let's get to work.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you can rehearse this play over the next couple days after. Nothing weird seems to happen so far.
Amadeus just like up on stage again, and like kind of this time, he does the same thing where he like kind of hides behind one of the stage trees and then like pops out. And as soon as he pops out, he then just like looks around, kind of ducks down, is like looking at the sky, making sure there's no birds. And then he just like, after that bit of apprehension, he's like, "Welcome one and all," and then just goes through his whole spiel.
Fade to black.
Yeah.
As your adventure comes to an end and you see a wonderful performance of Aristophanes play the birds, put on by Antmedeus. Thanks again for choosing to listen to Hammer of the Gods. Aristophanes once said, "Why, I'd like nothing better than to achieve some bold adventure worthy of our trip." And I'd like to think that the Oikos Antmedeus did just that.